5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denault.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. Now rescheduled for a mid-November launch, NASA and SpaceX will attempt to send their first official crew to the International Space Station. But one of the most dangerous periods of a launch is during the minutes it takes the spacecraft to rocket into orbit. Now, unlike the Space Shuttle, the Crew Dragon and Soyuz capsules have a launch escape system that rockets the capsule away safely for a return to land. But what about an abort after rocketing away from the launch pad? Only one American astronaut has had that experience during a Soyuz launch. Nick Hague will share that experience next on About Space Today. Are you ready to fly away on a dream vacation? For cruises and all-inclusive resort vacations, call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. And see us on Facebook, D&D Cruise and Tours, where your dreams become a reality. Welcome back. Astronaut Nick Hague, along with his Russian counterpart, were forced to abort a mission to the International Space Station when a rocket booster malfunctioned shortly after launch of their Soyuz MS-10. Well, Hague did relaunch from the Baikal Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan to the International Space Station. Well, Hague conducted 3 spacewalks during his mission, totaling more than 20 hours, with a total of 203 days in space. He is the only American astronaut to have experienced an abort during a launch. So what was it like?
I look back to the skills that I developed doing flight tests back in the Air Force and in-flight emergencies that I had while I was doing flight tests. And so it's one of those things where training is so key to building this reflex, because it all boils down to, control. And that's what you do. And that training helps you maintain that calm, because there's so many things that I could worry about that I have no control over. But I know that if I can focus on the procedures in front of me and the actions that I can take to improve my chances for survival, then that focus is what's going to get me through. So, and so we talk about, mentioned the launch abort was an example of a successful failure. We're at the 50th anniversary of one of the most spectacular successful failures, that we've witnessed in Apollo 13. And when you think about what it took to get them through that, it's really trying to focus on the things you can control. We have a problem. Okay, now, given that problem, what do we need to do in order to get them back and everybody on the ground? That the spectacular team of engineers that help give solutions to the problems as they occurred, with the focus of getting the crew back safely.
General Hague, the question is why? Many people would ask, why do you do what you do?
So it really all boils down to commitment to the mission. Why am I doing what I'm doing? If you can answer that question, then that helps really distill down why do you want to keep going forward. The most dynamic example is, why do I want to get to space after I failed the first time and came so close to it being the end? And it boils down to, what are you trying to accomplish? And for me, this idea of service, this idea of a commitment to the benefit of humanity, the scientific discoveries that we're making on the space station are helping improve lives on the ground. They're helping us treat some of our most troubling diseases. They're helping us understand the universe around us. And so being able to make my small contribution to continuing to expand that knowledge base for the benefit of everybody is something that's, it's something that I deeply believe in. But that commitment to something larger than yourself didn't start when I got to NASA, that started when I said, hey, I'm interested in serving my country in the Air Force, and going to the Air Force Academy and starting that life of service, being part of something bigger than myself. And so ultimately, what's going to get you through the challenge is being able to answer that why question for you.
Hague also pointed out the high importance of STEM in our classrooms today that will benefit all mankind in the future. A heroic American astronaut, Nick Hague. Thank you for joining me today. For launch dates and more, see our Facebook page, aboutspace.today. And listen this Friday when Don Meyer on America in Space reports from the Kennedy Space Center on a new Dragon capsule name. And don't forget, share our program with your family and friends. Join me next Tuesday for America's Return to Space. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.